Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. I'm your host, Amy with 2 E's, and I am the CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Through my podcast and courses, I teach women just like you how to ditch the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. Episode 210. Today, I am sharing with you the 10 things that you absolutely have to give up in order to lose your weight. So we're going to go through the list. And we're going to just kick it off here. Let's just get into things. I don't want to mess around. So these are things that you have got to rid yourself of if you want to lose your weight, if you want to be successful, and you want to change your life. And number 1 on the list is going to be your all or nothing thinking. You will never be able to sustain your weight loss long term if you don't get rid of the all or nothing thinking. This is what we also call like perfectionism, perfectionist thinking, where, if you can't do it perfectly, then why do it at all? All or nothing thinking is, if I can't have a perfect day of staying within my calories, staying within my points, checking all the boxes for my fruits and vegetables and my water, my workouts, or whatever it is that you're measuring yourself against, if you don't have a perfect day, then you throw all of your hard work out the window. And in order to lose weight and to keep the weight off, we really have to get rid of the all or nothing thinking. It's not helpful. It's not getting you to where you want to be. And even if you could argue with me that maybe all or nothing thinking, you were able to lose some weight with that mindset. I don't disagree with you at all, but what I do disagree with is that you won't be able to keep the weight off in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, because you're not building anything into your plan and your strategy for weight on how to handle life when life starts to life. You're not building anything in there for, when things don't go your way, because we don't lose weight in this perfect bubble. Life is not perfect. And so you've got to remember that you are actually setting yourself up for sabotage when you have this all or nothing thinking. There is nothing to be proud of. Like the people that take pride, and I used to be one of them, that take pride in saying you're a perfectionist, that's not the flex that you think it is. Because what that tells me is that you don't allow yourself room to grow. You don't allow yourself room to make mistakes. And this journey is going to be full of successes, fails, and mistakes. And so all or nothing thinking, girl, you got to give it up. We're not doing that anymore, okay? This kind of starts back into that, right? So let's say, what number 2 is the start over on Monday mentality. You have got to rid yourself of that start over on Monday mentality, because that is not helping you. If anything, that feeds into this perfectionism bubble where, you start out your week, quote unquote, perfectly. You're doing all the things. You're staying in your points range. You're not having any binges or overeats. And then, you have a binge or an overeat, or you go out to dinner and you kind of, go off the rails. And so you tell yourself, oh no, and it's Wednesday. Okay. It's Wednesday at this point, but you tell yourself that, you're just going to start over on Monday. And starting over on Monday mentality is you living in denial that somehow on Monday morning, and we're using this as an analogy, right? It doesn't just have to be Mondays. It can be, the first of the month, the first of the week, the first of the year, whatever. You know what I'm getting at with start over on Monday mentality. But this is you telling yourself, you're living in denial, thinking that somehow there's this magic process, this magic, like, I'm going to wave a magic wand, right? And on Monday, I am somehow going to be a new person who never gets cravings, who never gets temptations, who, no longer has the urge or the craving to soothe yourself with food anymore. Somehow that's just going to never happen again because we're going to start over on Monday. So we can F it up real good on Wednesday and then say, F it. From Wednesday to Sunday, we're just going to keep effing it up real hard and real good so that on Monday, we can hate ourselves so much that we're willing to start over and we think that we have gotten it all out of our system. Girl, please, you haven't got it all out of your system, because how many times have you told yourself, I'll start over tomorrow? I'll start over on Monday. I'll start over next month. I'll start over next year. How many years of your life have you been doing this? You've got to lose the start over on Monday mentality, because there is no Monday. There is no start over. It's not coming. This is you giving yourself this excuse. You're giving yourself this oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's okay that you did that. It's okay that you went off the rails because we'll just start over on Monday. And you know damn well when Monday comes, you're not going to be a different person. You're not going to be a new person. You're still going to have temptations. You're still going to have cravings. You're still going to have hormonal, raging hormones that are driving you to want to eat. You're still going to have stress. You're still going to have exhaustion. You're still going to have life throwing life at you. And you have to learn how to manage your damn emotions around your life so that you don't use food to cope with said emotions, right? So we've got to dump this start over tomorrow, start over on Monday mentality. And we just have to start looking at this as an ongoing journey. So what if you F it up at dinner tonight? Okay, fine. Get back the next meal. Get back tomorrow morning when you wake up. And I think the start over on Monday and the all or nothing is so interconnected, because it's like, well, I didn't do it perfectly today. So rather than try to just, tweak and make a couple different changes, I'm going to really go all in, the all or nothing, right? I'm going to go all in and just F it up real good between now and Monday. And how much damage do you do to yourself between now and Monday, now and tomorrow, now and next year, now and next month? You are hurting yourself. So you've got to stop, get your ass out of denial, thinking that you're going to somehow do it differently on Monday, and we know that you won't. You have to accept and acknowledge that part of this journey is the F-ups. Part of this journey is learning how to deal with life when life comes at you. You're not on The Biggest Loser. You're not at The Biggest Loser at Fat Camp for 16 weeks in a bubble outside of the real world. That is not you. That is not going to happen. That is not reality. Learn how to deal with life and learn how to lose your weight while you're dealing with life so that you don't feel like you have to keep starting over on Monday. It's not serving you. It's not working. That's the other thing. Get honest with yourself and admit that doesn't work. All right, so number 3. Number 3 is dumping and getting rid of, oh, a little won't hurt. Just a little bite won't hurt. A little won't hurt mindset. Get rid of a little won't hurt mindset, okay? Because sure, okay, yeah, fine. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to throw you off the trail. It's not going to throw you off your goals. It's probably not going to cause you to gain back your weight. But that's not the point. The point is that weight gain and weight loss is a culmination of small behaviors, these teeny tiny little behaviors and decisions that you make thousands of times throughout the day, right? So that one little bite of cake while you're cooking for the kids, whatever, that one little bite of pizza that you had that the kids threw away, that one little bite of this that you had, one little bite of that. Okay, sure. It may not hurt. It may not cause you to gain weight, but again, it's not the point. The point is that all of those decisions snowball over time. And you ever have that moment where you step on the scale and you're wondering, well, how the fuck did this happen again? How did I gain weight this week? Go back and look at your BLTs, your bite, licks, and taste, right? Go back and look at your BLTs and see where that might be coming from. And the opposite is true for weight loss. Weight loss doesn't happen because you decided to eat a salad instead of a burger and fries today. Girl, that's not going to cause you to lose weight. What's going to cause you to lose weight is making those types of decisions over and over and over again, and the hundreds and thousands of times a day that you have to make these decisions with yourself. That's when weight gain or weight loss happens. And the bigger point here about getting rid of a little won't hurt mindset is that you've got to build up your confidence in this journey. And the way that you build your confidence is by doing what you said you were going to do. And if you told yourself that this was going to be your food plan for the day, you were going to stay within your points range, then you need to do what you said you're going to do. Because every single time that you go off plan, have a little bit of this, have a little bit of that, you are instilling this belief, this subconscious belief in yourself that it doesn't matter. I don't matter. And, I'm going to just keep doing things, even though I said I wasn't going to do that. And you're chipping away at your confidence. You're chipping away at your belief that you believe you'll be able to lose the weight for the last time. So the little won't hurt mindset, get rid of it. And if you're going to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, that's fine. We need to track it. We need to be making the decision consciously, not from the place of a zombie. We're not zombie eating, okay? So number 4, you have to stop waiting for motivation to arrive. Waiting for this magical aha moment that comes down from the heavens and the angels sing and you're like, oh, I have the aha moment. I have the energy. I have the motivation. I have the desire to want to lose the weight. No, that is not going to last. Number 1, we're all going to feel motivated for a moment in time. And I think, let's go back to the starting over on Monday. There is something that you are getting out of the start over phase. You're addicted to it. The newness of it, the excitement of it, the fresh, you've got a fresh piece of paper and you don't want to put any negative marks on it. You are addicted to that process, right? And so, once you start rocking and rolling through this journey, and weight starts coming off and then you have a setback and you maybe gain back some of the weight or you plateau for months and months and months, and then you're just waiting for motivation to arrive. It's not coming. No one is coming to rescue you. Let me say that again. No one is coming to rescue you. You need to rescue yourself. There is no aha moment. There is no motivation that is going to just magically appear in front of you and make this feel easier. You've got to learn how to push through these moments where you're not motivated. You are indifferent about it. You don't want to do it anymore. You're frustrated. You're plateauing, and figure out, okay, what do I have control over? Stop waiting for these aha moments. We don't need to have a million aha moments to get started. We just need to start. All right, you got to dump the Last Supper. It's funny how as I wrote this and as I'm saying it now out loud, how interconnected it all is. But the Last Supper, okay, if you told yourself you're going to start over on Monday, Sunday night, it's going down, baby. It's going down. You're ordering all the food. You're ordering the dessert. You're ordering the appetizer. You are going in on some food. And how many Last Suppers have you had over your lifetime of trying to lose weight? So the question is that really working? Is that really working for you? No, I don't think it is. Because if it was working, why do you have so many Last Suppers? When you begin to tell yourself that I can eat whatever I want, I can eat things in moderation, I can enjoy this and I can enjoy that, there is no good or bad food, that starts to get rid of the panic that you feel that you'll never be able to have these foods again. And the reason that you think you can't have these foods is because you haven't learned how to manage yourself and your emotions around the food. And so when you take that pressure off of like, okay, I could have this anytime that I want, it changes the game. It really does. So you have got to get rid of this Last Supper mentality. Like, you've got to stop doing it. Order what you want, eat it in moderation, and move on with your life. You don't have to have a Last Supper in order to, like you're doing it because you're in the all or nothing thinking of like, well, I can't actually order what I want because if I do that, I'm going to go off my plan. Like, make accommodations in your life to eat the foods that you want to eat. Should you order food out every single night? No, that's not going to work. But, give yourself some boundaries. And that's the other thing. You need to learn how to have boundaries in your life. Boundaries and weight is like such a connection, right? It's like when you have boundaries in your life and you have boundaries around food and you have boundaries around how you take care of yourself, it's like, okay, I'm going to order this. I'm going to have it once and then I'm going to move on with my life. Okay. Number 6, what you also have to get rid of here. You have got to stop waiting for life to slow down, for life to be less stressful so you can really go all in. I would just, if life wasn't so stressful, if I didn't have this schedule right now, if I wasn't having to deal with X, Y, and Z, I could really get going on my weight loss journey and I would be a lot further ahead. Honey, weight doesn't care what's going on in your life. You have to stop waiting for the weight. You have to stop waiting for life to slow down in order to lose the weight. And the other thing I'll hear, and I mean, all these things I say I've done in the past as well. So like the other thing is, oh, well, I really can't start today because my vacation's coming up. And I just know that and think about what you're saying to yourself. What you're saying to yourself without saying it out loud is, I can't possibly start my weight loss journey now because I'm going on vacation next month. And what you're telling yourself is, so I know that I have to completely gorge myself and binge and overeat in order to enjoy myself and really live it up on vacation. That's what you're telling yourself. Or I can't start now because my birthday is in 2 weeks. I don't know. Maybe you should try to learn how to celebrate life without ending up in a bathtub full of, a bathtub with a 6-pack of cupcakes. Maybe you need to learn how to celebrate life without just gorging yourself to the point of, being in pain. Maybe you should learn how to celebrate life and give yourself some grace and be like, okay, cool. Like, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to have cake. I'm going to go out to dinner. And then I'm going to just keep it on. I'm going to keep on keeping on. And stop the start and stop. The start, you don't need to start and stop. You just need to keep going. And that whole thing about I'll start over on Monday, I effed up again, here we go, I got to start my diet over. No, this journey is just a continuation day after day. And it's a continuation of decisions that you're making that add up to your results. And those are going to add up to results of you either gaining weight or losing weight. What do you want it to be? You keep making these decisions, putting things off, having the Last Supper, waiting for this, waiting for that. Well, then you're not going to get the results that you want. And let me tell you, life doesn't give a shit. Life isn't going to slow down. And let's say you are in a season where life has slowed down, stress is a little bit lower than it usually is. So when you tell yourself that, I'm waiting for it to slow down, then what happens when it revs back up again? What happens when life absolutely, punches you in the gut? Because it will. It's coming. It happens to all of us. Then what are you going to do? Number 7 that you need to give up is self-judgment. Oh my God. Like, you've got to stop the self-judgment. You have this dialogue that's constantly going in your brain with the inner fat bitch, right? Talking down to yourself. See, I knew you couldn't do it, you fat bitch. I knew you couldn't do it. I knew you couldn't do it. You never can. You always fail. You always overeat. You ain't shit. Like, judging yourself for your decisions, judging yourself for not losing this week, judging yourself for staying the same week over week over week, month over month. Like, you've got to drop the self-judgment and just understand that, again, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have setbacks. And when you break away from this toxic diet culture, you're able to see it more as a journey. Because think about it. The toxic diet culture shit has taught us that once you declare you're starting, then you have to follow through. You have to get to the end. You have to get to your goal weight. And from here to there is a straight line. There is no mistakes. There is no messing up. There is no relapsing. But we all know from experience that's just not the truth. That's not how it is. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have setbacks. Does it mean you're failing? Of course not. It means you're trying. Because if you're not trying, then you're just sitting at home on the couch shoving your face full of cupcakes. Number 8, you have got to stop with the paranoia that everyone is out to get you. Everyone is out to sabotage you. They don't care that much. Do I believe there are food pushers and there are people that try to sabotage our weight loss efforts? 100%. But are those people strapping you down to a chair, holding your arms and shoving the food down your throat? I think not. And if that is happening, please seek professional help. But that is not happening. So yes, there are nasty comments that people make. Are you sure you can eat that? Oh my God, I made your favorite today. But oh yeah, you probably can't have any, right? Yes. We have food pushers. We have weight loss sabotagers. But you have to remember that the only person who controls what food goes in your mouth is you. Again, make better boundaries. Learn better boundaries with yourself and other people. Okay? Because not everyone is out here trying to sabotage you. And the other side to this is not everybody needs to help you. I can remember on my gazillionth weight loss journeys that I've been on and times where, my husband wasn't on board with wanting to lose weight at the same time. And I was like, you're not supportive. You're not helping. You're not this and that. It's like, he just didn't want to do it. And it's his choice, right? So not everyone in your family, is it nice when everybody gets on board and wants to change their lifestyle and be healthy too? Absolutely. Is it required? Does it mean that they don't love you? No, it just means they don't want to do it right now and they don't have to. So stop with the paranoia that everyone is out to get you, everyone is against you, and take some damn responsibility for yourself. Because what that is, you putting blame on everyone around you, whether it's they're not supportive enough, they're out to get me, they're food pushers. All that really is, when you boil it all down, is you making excuses as to why you can't take the bull by the horns and get shit done. That's what it is, okay? That's what it is you not taking control of your own situation. You are in charge of your own life. Get some better boundaries. Okay, enough. Number 9, you have got to stop worrying about what comes after the weight loss. Okay. How many times have you said this, or you've heard people say, I'm just so worried about, I have so much weight to lose and I'm just so worried what's going to happen with all of this loose skin. Okay, yeah, you're going to have loose skin. Okay, yes, you will. If you're got over 100 pounds to lose, you're probably going to have some loose skin. Who gives a shit? Deal with it when that day comes. Do what you can do now to minimize, get the right lotions and the oils and start taking good care of your skin. Start lifting weights, start, strength training so you don't have as much to worry about. But don't allow what might or might not happen in the future stop you from doing what you need to do in the first place. That can't stop you from losing the weight. Stop worrying about problems that haven't even shown themselves yet. Once you lose your goal, get to your goal and you lose your weight and you have loose skin, all right, now let's deal with it. And how many times do we try to worry about the future, worry about what may or may not happen? Well, we haven't even put the work in yet to get the results that are going to cause us to have that problem in the first place. And wouldn't you rather have loose skin than to be absolutely miserable in your body because you can't move, you can't go up and down the stairs, you can't bend over, you can't tie your shoes, you can't wipe your own ass? What's worse? What's worse? Focus on the here and now. Focus on what is happening. Focus on what you need to do today. And when that day arrives, then we'll worry about it. Stop worrying about stuff that you don't need to think about. Stop worrying about putting energy into things that don't matter yet. Okay? One day, one meal, one bite at a time is how you're going to get there. Okay? Number 10. All right. So number 10. Okay. Let's get ready for this. All right. Number 10 is you have to stop thinking that life begins at your goal weight. Life doesn't begin at your goal weight. You have to start living your life now at your largest size in order to get to your goal weight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Losing weight physically transforms us. Absolutely. It lowers our numbers. It makes us feel better physically. It makes us like what we see in the mirror more. But it doesn't transform our life. It doesn't take away the money problems. It doesn't take away your anxiety. It doesn't take away the fact that you're a shy person who doesn't want to be around people. The weight loss isn't going to transform your life. You have to transform your life now so that you can lose the weight. You have to transform your life now so that you can lose the weight. Because what is blocking you is not a lack of knowledge. Because you'll hear, well, how many macros should I eat a day? How much protein should I eat a day? How many carbs should I have? What's the best diet? You don't need to know that information. You know that is not what is stopping you from getting to your goal. You know how to lose weight, right? We know that, we know what we need to do to get the weight off. We know what foods are going to cause us to gain, what foods are causing us to lose. We know the amount of food. That is not your problem. Your problem is not a knowledge deficit. Your problem is not you need to go to a nutritionist. Your problem is that you need to change your life and transform pieces of your life now so that you make room for the weight loss. You can't expect, and again, this is where you get into self-judgment, right? You can't be stretched to capacity, burning the candle at both ends, taking care of everybody else, and then wondering why at 9:00 at night you have zero F's left to give. You have no energy left to give to work out. You have no energy left to give to make good decisions about food. And then you self-judge and talk to yourself like shit, and inner fat bitch comes out, and you wonder why you're not losing weight. You've got to look at your life first and decide, what are the things you need to change now? What are the things I need to start working on so that I can make myself it's like you're not going to magically have everything that you want because you get to your goal weight. You're going to be in a smaller size with the same problems. It just that is what it is. Your life started the day you were born. Your life doesn't start when you get to your goal weight. You get to your goal weight and you start to lose the weight because you start to believe in yourself again. You start to have confidence in yourself again. And you start to have confidence in yourself because you start doing the things that you said you were going to do. And remember what I always tell you, the number one way to chip away at your confidence is to not keep the promises to yourself. When you start doing what you say you're going to do, you start keeping promises to yourself, you start setting your life up in a way that pushes you outside your comfort zone. Now you have that confidence in yourself. You start to be like, okay, I can do this. If I can overcome this obstacle, like just think about things in your life that are really hard or really challenging or really scary, or think about things that have happened to you. If you can overcome that, you can overcome this too. So let's drop the belief that life begins at goal weight. Losing weight will not transform your life. You need to transform your life so that you can make room to lose the weight. Okay? That was 10. So I have a bonus. As I was thinking about this, I have a bonus, I guess number 11, but it's more just like a bonus as I was thinking about things. And here's the bonus. Something else you got to stop doing if you want to lose the weight. You have to stop the vicious cycle. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, let me paint a picture for you. Okay? You're getting ready for bed and you are beating yourself up because you overate today. You had more than one piece of the chocolate. You didn't measure out your food. You overate. You don't feel good. And you feel like shit. So you're beating yourself up. You're having the conversation with the inner fat bitch. You're just, all that inner chatter is going on. And so you're like, okay, tomorrow. We're kind of like going back through the list, right? Tomorrow I start over again. Tomorrow I will start over. Tomorrow I will do it perfectly. Tomorrow I will I know that I'll be able to do it because I'm going to just give myself that like permission to like, I can start over tomorrow. Everything's fine. Okay. And so then tomorrow comes and it starts out okay. But going back to, you haven't done anything yet to transform your life. So that same stress, that same schedule, that same demand that is on you at all times hasn't gone away. So you get caught up in the cycle of, okay, I'm going to plow through. I'm going to try to get some work done today. I'm going to see if I can get ahead. And then, eventually I'm going to be able to catch up by the end of the day. Well, something comes up at school. You got kids. You got to go pick them up early. Something comes up at work and you're derailed from this project to the next project. Or, there's something that takes you off track. Or, you're at the urgent care with your kids 2 days in a row. Talking to myself last week or the week before. Don't even know. It's been a cluster. And so now it's like, well, it's late. Everything's closed. I don't have time to cook. I'm going to just pick food up. And for some reason, we associate having to pick food up with order whatever the F you want on the menu. Not like, hey, I got to pick food up. Maybe I can make a good choice. No. This means we're tired. We're stressed. We deserve to eat whatever we want to eat off this menu. And now you're down on yourself again because the day went by. You haven't accomplished your weight goals. You didn't do what you said you were going to do with your food. You didn't get everything done on your to-do list because you got derailed for whatever reason. And so you go back into the cycle. Here comes inner fat bitch at bedtime. She's coming out. She's just berating you up and down. And you're like, all right, tomorrow. You know what? My schedule's cleared out tomorrow. I don't have any meetings tomorrow. I know I can do this tomorrow. And this cycle, when I say stop the cycle, this is what I'm talking about. This cycle continues and continues and continues until you make a decision to stop it. Because we don't know what we're going to wake up to tomorrow. We don't know how we're going to get derailed off of our agenda for the day. And chances are it's going to happen. Not every single day, but it goes back to, you can't wait for all things to be perfect. That's not going to happen. And so to stop the cycle, you've got to keep your goals top of mind. And that is the one thing I have really discovered, is that if this isn't shoved down my throat all throughout the day, then we lose sight of what we're doing. I need to have it shoved in my face all day long. Not like we're not being obsessive, crazy people, but we're like, you need to have this at your top of your list every day. The top of your to-do list. You know what? Stay in my points. Keep my promises to myself. Whatever you want to put there. Weight loss, like put your goal. You've got to have it top of mind. You've got to have it in your face. And here's the other thing that I find is a necessity. Because when we get so caught up in our life of that cycle that I'm talking about, then all of a sudden you get invited to a pool party. All of a sudden you get invited to a theme park, or you get invited to an event or a party, and you're like, oh my God, like I haven't lost any of this weight. I feel horrible. I look horrible. Nothing fits. Oh my God, I've been wearing these leggings and oversized shirts for 3 months now because I haven't had to really go anywhere and like go to events and things like that. You're just kind of in your little bubble of life, your cycle, your job, your home, whatever. And now it's time to go, but nothing fits because you were only thinking of that immediate moment. You were only thinking about the immediate gratification of ordering the McDonald's on the way home from the urgent care. You were only thinking about the immediate gratification of going back for more chocolates in the pantry. You weren't thinking ahead because you weren't focused on your goals. You weren't thinking about your future self. And here's the kicker that I really want to get across. You didn't have anything to look forward to. Our lives are pretty monotonous, right? And that's not a bad thing. We get up, we take our kids to school, we go to work, we come home, we make dinner, we take the dog for a walk, we do this, we do that. And that's perfectly normal. It shouldn't be chaotic and crazy every single day where we should at least have a good idea of what we're doing every single day, okay? We have habits, we have schedules, okay? But you've also got to have something to look forward to. So that thing, like we have our bigger overarching why of why we want this weight to come off. But I find that having something to look forward to keeps me grounded. It keeps me focused where I'm like, okay, here's a good example. So it is currently the beginning of March. And at the end of April, I am going for the first time with my daughter, who's 7. We are going to diabetes camp. It's a 3-day, 2-night camp. And it's all for kids with type 1 diabetes and their families. Now, I went to camp once as a kid, like stay away camp. The idea of zip lining, rock climbing, archery, sleeping in a bunk with I don't know how many other people, it's got my eye twitching a little bit, but I'm like a nervous excited to go. I really am looking forward to it for her and for us together. It's gonna be the two of us. And I can't lie, it's gonna push me out of my comfort zone a lot. There will be horseback riding. I grew up riding horses, but when you get to a certain weight, I went a lot of years like not riding horses. And I remember when I finally went, we were in Arizona and, no one asked me about my weight because I had lost a good amount of weight at that time, but you still always see the fat version of you. And, I'm still over 200. I'm at a place where I still feel a little bit nervous about like weight limits and stuff like that. Cause it scars you when you've been so big that, you do have to worry about if there's a weight limit. And so I'm keeping that as my North Star right now because I don't want to go to diabetes camp and have to sit things out. I don't want to zip line, and I'm really hoping she doesn't either because I also have a fear of heights. But if she wants to do it, I'm not going to let my kid see me in fear and see that, well, when you're scared of things, you just don't do them. Like, no. Like, my child has diabetes. My child has to go through things that, quite frankly, would scare the shit out of a full-grown adult. A full-grown adult couldn't handle some of the things that she has to do before 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay? So I'm not going to let my fear of heights or my fear of a weight limit, like, I'm not going to let her see that, right? We're going to push through our fears. We're going to push through our limiting beliefs. And I also know that I do want to get more of this weight off. I want to be in better shape. I want to feel good about my body. You know, I know I'm not going to be at my goal in a month and a half, but I could come a long way in a month and a half to where I feel more confident, more fit to be able to do some of these things outdoors with her. I don't ever want to be the parent who just sits on the sidelines and is like, yeah, I can't do that. I'm too fat. I can't do that. Like, we went to one of those like trampoline parks the other day, and like, I'm jumping with them. Like, it's fun. So I'm keeping diabetes camp as my Northern Star, as my thing to look forward to, so that when I want to go back in the pantry and get another chocolate covered caramel, it's like, should we be doing this right now? Like, think about ziplining through the woods. Like, okay, you know, or think about getting on that horse. You know, and it's not just the number on the scale. It's, I want to feel better, that I can be more athletic and do these outdoorsy things and show her that it's possible no matter what. So that for me is my thing right now to look forward to. And so think about what that is for you. And if you don't have anything to look forward to, schedule something. It doesn't have to be a vacation. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It could be, okay, I'm going to plan a weekend or a day going hiking. In my current state, am I really going to feel good hiking at this weight? Am I going to feel really good? You know, I've been sitting on my ass for, you know, months and months behind a computer. Am I up for the challenge? Okay, so let's get ourselves prepared and trained to be able to do that. Find something to look forward to, whether it's a night out with your husband, you know, an outfit that you want to purchase. Just find something that you constantly have on your calendars that you can look forward to, because I have found that, and here's the difference. I can remember times where having a vacation on the calendar is like, oh my God, I got to go into like toxic diet mode, right? I got to go into desperate dieting mode. And that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, because when I would go into those phases, somehow I thought I was going to get to my goal, which is like delusional as fuck. I was going to get to my goal in the 3 months before the vacation and then beat myself up because I only lost 10 pounds. And only, like, come on. Only, get rid of that only stuff too. That's got to go. So the difference here is, okay, I have this thing to look forward to. I know I'm not going to be at my goal weight, but what can I do to better myself between now and then so that I wake up and feel ready to go and feel confident? So you can do a lot of like, you know, like thinking here where you put yourself, like, think about what it's going to feel like on that day. And if you do nothing between now and then, you're going to wake up not feeling too good about yourself. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel like you're not up for this. Think about how you want to feel that day and put the work in now so that you have those things to look forward to. Okay? You know, I do this when we took our Disney trips and stuff too. And hey, if you're going to Disney, start walking. Like, trust me on that. You need to start training and walking every single day so that you can feel good when you go there. But yeah, that's my bonus, is you have to stop the cycle and have something to look forward to. All right. I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of this list. I'd love to hear what was the most helpful, or what thing are you going to stop doing immediately. You can communicate and message me over on Instagram. I am at Irresistible Icing. That is where I am the most active in social media. So that is where we should connect after the episodes. If you found this episode helpful, please leave a rating and review on your podcast player of choice. I recommend using the Amazon Music app. If you are an Amazon Prime member, you already have free access to the app. There are tons of podcasts and music, and that is just my preference when it comes to listening to podcasts. If you're not a Prime member, I do have a link for a free 30-day trial. Sign up, check it out, see if you like it, and I'll leave that down in the show notes for you. It was so great talking to you guys. I hope you're doing well. Until the next one, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.